Armstrongs, who's ready for another day of digital learning? I hope all of you are. I loved reading yesterday who you were going to write your letters to. There was a good variety there, and I know the people that receive your letters are going to be so excited. That's really kind of doing a nice thing for somebody else, but it makes you feel good too. And maybe they'll write back to you. That's so fun. I remember I love to get something in the mailbox. So I'm glad that y'all enjoyed that, and I'm sure you had a lot of interesting things to fill in your family members and friends with that you've been doing during this time. So that's great. Today we're going to continue on with simple machines, and I know that y'all have been doing some experiments with Mrs. Gordon, and wow, I'm so impressed. I've loved seeing the videos, and I've noticed even some little brothers and little sisters helping out with those. So those are really neat. So how many types of simple machines are there? I think so far y'all have done 3 with Mrs. Gordon. How many are there altogether? Anybody? Yeah, 6. There's 6 different kinds of simple machines. So today, you're going to make a little book, My Book of Simple Machines. And just like we do in class where Ms. Armstrong will give you a sheet and you have to cut it out and look at the page numbers and put it together, that's what you're going to do with this little book. You're going to cut it out, and each page tells about a different simple machine. So it'll have what type of simple machine it is, what it does, and how it makes work easier, because remember, that's what we were talking about with tools and simple machines. They make work easier. So for instance, this one is the inclined plane. So Ms. Armstrong highlighted it in yellow. Remember how we would get our yellow crayons and do that, because that's the word that we're really looking at. And it says, the inclined plane is a simple machine. It is a sloping surface like a ramp. It makes lifting or moving easier. So it shows how it makes work easier. It has these little animals. So each page is going to have a different one with the definition and telling what it is and how it makes work easier, and then it'll show an example with an animal in it. So you might want to highlight those words so you're sure that you know those 6 simple machines, and then you can see Ms. Armstrong started to color in my little turtle there. So I'd love it if you color it too. That always makes it look like a real book. So even though you've been listening and we did a brain pop on simple machines, now you're going to read it. And these words are a little bit harder. They're not necessarily our spelling words. So you might need a little help with those. In math, we're going to continue on with subtraction. So I hope y'all like it. It's really not harder than addition once you know that with double digit you have to start in the ones place first, and then the tens place. It's not so hard. So you can turn really big numbers into smaller numbers by looking at their place value first and subtracting. So we'll do some more with that. Hope you've enjoyed the videos that Mrs. Waters has done. We've kind of put her in charge of those for math, and she's doing a great job. So Mrs. Waldrop and Mr. D, and I really appreciate that. In spelling, you're going to choose a game from Spelling City. And of course, that means that on Friday, you'll take your test on Spelling City. And I would love it if you would print out your certificates, and maybe Mom or Dad could email me so I can see what your score is. I'd love to know how you're doing. The W and WHs are a little harder, I think. You might think they're a breeze. I think they're a little bit harder. So I hope you'll do really well on those. Remember the trick that Mrs. McDonald showed you about the WH, kind of doing the puff if you hold a Kleenex up in front of you, and the W sound does not do that. So that's a good way, if you're not sure, to kind of hold your hand up in front of your mouth and see. Today, remember, is also the read aloud with Miss Evans. So join in at 9:15. I'm not sure what story she's doing, so it'll be a surprise for me as well. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. All right, bye-bye.